I was a late baby. You're gonna be a flat-nosed baby if you don't shut up, I'm thinking. What does your button say? I asked him. He stuck out his scrawny chest. It says, "Hi, I'm a flickertail." What's a flickertail? A flickertail is a squirrel. There are lots of them in North Dakota. That's why it's called the Flickertail State. What is Pennsylvania called? The Poop State? He didn't crack a smile. Didn't even know it was a joke. He got all frowny and thought about it and nodded and said, "Oh." Then his motor mouth took off again. North Dakota is real flat. Where we lived anyway, and there's prairies. My dad says when the wind blows over the prairie, it looks wavy like the ocean. I never saw a real ocean yet, but my dad says we're going to see the Atlantic Ocean soon. My dad's an artist. He makes birds out of glass and ceramics and wood and metal. He can make any kind of bird you can name. But he's the best in the world at prairie chickens. I cut him off. My father is starting a new business. He works 70 hours a week, sometimes more. My mother works at home, like my father. She makes greeting cards and buttons like this. My mother works and goes to school, both. I like dogs, but I love turtles. Would you like to see my turtle? No. I have a grandfather named Scooter. He was a cook in the U.S. Navy. I'm an only child. I'm starting first grade this year. Me too, he said. And for the second time, he asked me my name. Murgatroyd, I said. He didn't even blink. He just stuck out his hand and said, "Nice to meet you, Murgatroyd." Instead of my hand, I stuck out my shovel. He shook it. He laughed. He thought it was the funniest thing since Bugs Bunny. For some reason, that laughing was the last straw. I plucked the silly button off his shirt, dumped it in the hole I was digging, and covered it over with dirt. I stomped and flattened the dirt with my foot. The kid froze in mid-laugh. His eyes took up his whole face. Then he turned and walked down the block. He wasn't whistling now. I figured that was the last time I'd ever see that ham bone. Chapter 2. The next day, I was out digging again. This time I brought my dump truck along. I shoveled dirt into the dump truck. Then I drove the truck over to the flower bed and dumped dirt onto a purple pansy until I buried it. In the meantime, my little sister Abby was picking worms out of my shovelfuls of dirt. She was having worm races. It surprised me to see a girl not afraid to pick up worms. But she was only 4 then, so I figured she was too young to know better. I figured in a little while she would become a regular girl and scream if she ever touched anything slimy or crawly. Anyway, as I was busy burying pansies, I kept looking down the street. Maybe it was more than looking. Maybe I was hoping to see the new kid, Penn Webb, hoping to do something else to him. But I wasn't seeing him. So after I buried the last pansy, I hopped onto my bicycle and headed down the sidewalk. I had no idea where he lived. I wasn't supposed to cross streets at that age, but I did. Pretty soon the houses and the yards were smaller. I made a U-turn. I was heading back when I heard his voice. "Murgatroyd!" He was running toward me. He wore a new button. He seemed all happy to see me, which made no sense. "My name's not Murgatroyd," I told him. He gawked at me. "No?" "No. It's Humphrey." He grinned. "Ah, you were tricking me, huh?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm a real tricker. But I'm not tricking you now. My name really is Humphrey." He nodded and snapped his hand out. "Okay, nice to meet you, Humphrey. I'm still Penn Webb." I stuck out my hand, but when he went to shake it, I snatched it away. I poked his forehead with my finger. "Ha ha, tricked you again." He laughed. "Want to see my turtle?" "No," I said. I pointed at the new button.